Bioglam Curvy Models is more than a movement. It's a heartbeat, a rhythm of women who have learned to celebrate their curves, own their stories, and rise from the silence of comparison into the light of self-love. Every curve has a history, every confidence has a beginning, and every woman who dares to be seen gives others permission to do the same. Among these luminous souls stands Annabella Ivy, a woman who redefines beauty not by symmetry, but by soul. When people see Annabella today, confident, glowing, unapologetically herself, they might think she's always been this way. But the truth is, her journey began in a world that told her to hide. She was born into a quiet coastal town where the waves sang softly, but society's voices were louder. From a young age, she noticed how beauty was measured in inches, filtered through standards that excluded girls like her. Her mother used to tell her, "You are made of light. Don't let the world dim you." At the time, she didn't fully understand it, but those words became a seed, buried deep, waiting for the right moment to bloom. Growing up, Annabella loved art. She'd spend hours sketching faces, curves, and dresses, creating imaginary worlds where everyone was beautiful in their own way. But as she grew older, she realized how narrow the world's view of beauty truly was. In magazines, on television, even in the shops around her, she never saw bodies that looked like hers. She started to think maybe beauty had rules, and that she was breaking them. High school was both magic and mayhem. She had friends, laughter, dreams, but also insecurities that clung like shadows. Every compliment seemed to come with a caveat. "You have such a pretty face." It's a phrase that's both kind and cruel, because hidden inside it is the implication that the rest of you needs fixing. Annabella started to shrink herself, not just physically, but emotionally. She'd avoid cameras, wear oversized clothes, and pretend not to care about fashion, even though she loved it deeply. But the thing about hiding is, eventually, your light starts to rebel. One afternoon, while scrolling online, she came across a curvy fashion model who looked radiant and powerful, someone who looked like her, standing tall and proud. That moment changed everything. For the first time, she saw herself reflected in beauty. She realized that representation wasn't just inspiring, it was life-altering. That day, Annabella made a silent promise. "I will become what I needed to see." The first step was terrifying. She created an Instagram account, nothing fancy, no grand announcement, just a space to express herself. She started posting little things, her outfits, her sketches, her favorite quotes. She wrote about learning to love her reflection, about the battle between acceptance and doubt. Slowly, women began to find her. "You're so relatable," they'd say. "I wish I had your confidence." But what they didn't know was that Annabella was still learning, still growing, still trying to believe her own words. But with every post, though, she got stronger. She started experimenting with style, bold colors, fitted dresses, silhouettes that accentuated her body instead of concealing it. What began as self-expression turned into self-empowerment. She discovered that fashion wasn't about hiding flaws. It was about celebrating form. Clothes weren't armor anymore. They were language. And she had finally found her voice. Her breakthrough came unexpectedly. A local photographer reached out asking if she'd model for a body positivity series. She almost said no, fear whispering that she wasn't ready. But something inside her said, "Do it scared." She agreed. The shoot took place outdoors, bathed in golden sunlight. At first, she felt awkward, unsure how to pose, how to exist in front of the camera without apology. But the photographer encouraged her to move, to breathe, to feel. And somewhere between the laughter and the wind, she stopped performing and started existing. When she saw the final photos, she didn't see flaws. She saw power. She saw the woman she was always meant to be. That photo set went viral. People shared her images across platforms, praising her authenticity, her presence, her glow. But more importantly, her story resonated. Women wrote to her from around the world, from Brazil to the Philippines, saying, "You made me feel seen." For the first time, Annabella realized that her journey wasn't just personal, it was universal. As her platform grew, so did her purpose. She joined the BioGlam Curvy models community, a family of women who turned visibility into activism. Through BioGlam, Annabella found her tribe, creators, models, and influencers who believed in beauty beyond boundaries. Together, they launched campaigns celebrating body diversity, self-expression, and inclusivity. Annabella became one of the most beloved voices in the movement, not because she was the loudest, but because she was real. Behind the lens, though, the journey wasn't always easy. Fame brought attention, and attention brought scrutiny. People on the internet can be cruel, hiding behind comments like, "You would be perfect if you lost weight." At first, those words stung. But Annabella learned that her energy was too sacred to waste on opinions built from insecurity. "I'm not here to please everyone," she once said in an interview. "I'm here to show up as myself, and that's enough." Her relationship with her body evolved from battle to partnership. She began practicing mindfulness, journaling, and moving for joy rather than punishment. Dance became one of her healing rituals. Not performance dance, but barefoot living room dance. Music on, lights low, body free. It's in those moments, she once said, "I remember I'm not here to be perfect, I'm here to be present." Annabella's rise in the modeling world continued. She collaborated with inclusive fashion brands, posed for editorial shoots, and appeared in digital campaigns that celebrated size diversity. But she never lost her sense of purpose. "I don't want to just be seen, I want to make others feel seen." Through her BioGlam Curvy Models platform, she began mentoring younger creators, teaching them about self-confidence, content authenticity, and emotional boundaries in a digital world that feeds on comparison. She told them, "Confidence isn't the absence of insecurity. It's the courage to keep going even when you're afraid." Her content also evolved, from pure fashion to holistic empowerment. She spoke about mental health, self-worth, and what it means to love yourself in a world that profits from your self-doubt. Her posts became modern-day affirmations, soft yet strong, tender yet radical. When asked how she maintains balance, Annabella often smiles and says gratitude. She grounds herself through nature, through quiet moments, through family. Despite her growing fame, she's never lost sight of the girl who started this journey in a small town with a sketchbook and a dream. There's something deeply magnetic about the way Annabella moves through life. She doesn't walk into a room to be admired. She walks in to remind others that they belong. She carries an energy that says, "You can breathe here." That's what makes her different. Her confidence doesn't intimidate. It liberates. Sometimes she still gets messages from girls who are afraid to wear the dress, to post the picture, to step into their power. And to each of them, she says, "Don't wait to feel ready. Start now." Confidence is built in the doing. Her impact isn't measured in followers or likes. It's measured in the quiet revolutions she sparks inside people. Because the truth is, Annabella Ivy didn't just build a platform, she built a mirror. One big enough for every woman who ever felt unseen to finally recognize herself. In moments of reflection, she often thinks of that teenage version of herself, standing in front of the mirror, wishing to disappear. She smiles softly and whispers, "Look at us now." And as she looks toward the future, Annabella doesn't chase trends or fame. She chases meaning. She wants to create spaces, online and offline, where people of all sizes, colors, and backgrounds can coexist without fear of judgment. Her dream is to one day launch a self-love foundation, offering workshops for young women to learn confidence before comparison ever takes root. To Annabella, beauty is not performance. It's presence. It's the quiet grace of being yourself in a world that keeps asking you to be someone else. She often ends her interviews with a smile and a line that has become her signature. Visibility isn't vanity, it's victory. Because that's what she stands for. Victory over shame, victory over silence, victory over every voice that ever said you had to shrink to be loved. Annabella Ivy isn't just a curvy model or influencer. She's a revolution in human form, a woman who turned her story into a movement, a woman who proved that confidence isn't born, it's built one act of courage at a time. And through BioGlam Curvy models, her story lives on, a reminder to every woman watching that your light is meant to be seen. So if you ever forget your worth, remember Annabella's words. You were never too much. The world was just too small.